Hello there, welcome to another edition of #NowSmoking. I'm Gary Korb, your host. I'm the executive editor for cigaradvisor.com. And today, got something really special. Once again, it is the Desert Rose of Sharon Exclusivo. And what makes it Exclusivo? What makes it Exclusivo is that this is a size that is made only for Famous Smoke Shop. And it is sold only at Famous Smoke Shop. It is a 6x52 Toro. Terrific cigar, and let's get into it. If you're familiar with Southern Draw cigars, a lot of their cigars are made at Tabacalera AJ Fernandez, as is this one. And as I mentioned, it is a 6x52 Toro, which I really like. I like these dimensions a lot. It's a medium body cigar. The wrapper is a very blonde Ecuador cloud grown Claro. That's what he calls it, a cloud grown. That's what it is, because it's natural shade. And the binder is a Nicaraguan, and it's Nicaraguan Habano, and the fillers are Honduran Corojo 99 and Dominican Palato Cubano. So got a nice mix of tobaccos in there from different countries. And here's the deal. Only 250 boxes of 10 were made for Famous Smoke Shop, and a lot of them are already gone. So you can also get a 5-pack if you like, and I believe they're also sold in singles, so you have to check on the website. So anyway, just examine the cigar a little bit. Let's give it a little sniff. Oh, it has a nice little kind of like barnyard scent that we're familiar with Connecticut type wrappers. It's a little soft, but it's not overly humidified. That's on me. The cap is a triple seamer. It's very nicely applied, and I'm not feeling any soft spots in the cigar. As you can see, there's a nice secondary band. It says Famous Smoke Shop Exclusivo, and then it says Desert Rose. So this is the Desert Rose. This is not the original Rose of Sharon. This is the next step up, which is a little bit more zing in this cigar. So let's cut it. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Kind of like a mellow taste. I'd say almost herbal in a way. A little sweet, a little salty. It tastes kind of bready. It's nice. It's nice. I hope that's a preview of what's to come. So let's light it up. Now I have had a couple of these. We did an event with Robert Holt, who's the founder of Southern Draw Cigars, and he and his wife Sharon. Actually, this cigar is named for Sharon. Rose of Sharon is the original name. And when I had that last week during the live event, it was a really good smoke. So let's hope that this is consistent, which it should be. All right, be careful lighting this because Connecticut wrappers, especially ones like this, are very delicate. You don't want to scorch it. Wow, look at that glow. We got it right first time. Okay. And I'm going to be pairing it with coffee right now, hot coffee. It's hardly sweetened at all. And later we're going to move on to something else. We'll get to that eventually. So you're getting a nice sweetness off of this. A little bit of that salt is in there too. It's a little woody. It tastes very homogenized. You know what I mean? It's like it's not real spicy. It's not too mild. It's just sort of like somewhere in the middle, and it's very like relaxing. And it's just kind of a sit back and relax with this cigar. But before we get a little more into the first act, let me give you a little bit of background on this cigar. Actually, this is one of 2 fall releases that Southern Draw put out just in the last couple of weeks. The first was this cigar, the Rose of Sharon Exclusivo, for Famous Smoke Shop. And this size, this Toro, I believe if I understood Robert correctly, this was actually the original size and shape. I think when they blended the cigar, and they really loved it. I know some of them are box pressed, and he does a perfecto, and he's in the Rose of Sharon. But this Desert Rose is really, really nice. And like I said, has a little bit more to it in terms of complexity and body, things like that. Sharon, Robert's wife, they call her the boss lady. She had something to say about this cigar. She said that the Desert Rose is now being presented in new sizes that I find most enjoyable, offering a wider variety of smoking experiences for the blend. And I agree with her on that. Simply put, the two new sizes of Desert Rose provide consumers what I personally consider the two best experiences for the blend. And I have tried it in many sizes and formats. And that's true, I have too. And I'll tell you, as I just said a minute ago, when I had this cigar for the first time a couple of weeks ago, when we did the event, I said, wow, this is really something, because I had this Desert Rose in I think it was a box pressed Bellicoso, and it was a lot more full bodied in terms of the body. It was still in the medium category, but it was a much richer, heartier smoke. But this is just right in my wheelhouse. What else did she say? She says, the Desert Rose Exclusivo honors the character of the original blend. And by working closely with Famous Smoke Shop over the last 18 months, we were able to bring yet another exciting exclusive cigar offering to their loyal customers. So there you go. And Jim Charnley, who was our Director of Purchasing and Merchandising for Famous Smoke Shop, he said, considering Southern Draw is continually growing in popularity, we're expecting the cigar to sell out quickly. And it's true, it has been selling very well. So like I said, 250 boxes of 10. There are some 5-packs, and you may want to jump on this, but let's get more into it. The box is really gorgeous. It's a beautiful red packaging, so it's easy to spot in the store, and it's really nice, and it's just made for Famous, which is also nice. Now, I was talking about this live virtual event we did a couple weeks ago, and we really had a great time with Robert. And like I said, I thought this cigar in this particular size, and I do like box press cigars, but with this parejo shape, it's just really, really enjoyable. So let's take a few more hits on it, see how it's going. Yeah, it's just really, really mellow. It's but not in a mild sense per se. It's just really smooth and creamy and all that. And I got to tell you another thing that I think the cigar has an advantage in terms of smoking time. We were on that event with Robert for, I think it was from 7 to 9, it was 2 hours. And this cigar lasted a full 2 hours. So take your time with it, just enjoy it. It's going to give you a lot of pleasure for at least an hour or more, okay? So anyway, right now, it's really good. We're off to a good start. It's kind of sweet. I really like it. It goes great with my coffee. And this is a really good cigar also to have in the morning with your coffee, kind of like a first cigar of the day. So let's see what happens when we get a little further into this. All right, so we are well into Act 1 of the Southern Draw Desert Rose Exclusivos made for Famous Smoke Shop. It's a 6x52 Toro, in case you missed that. And look at this nice ash, which I know is going to drop any minute. But it really looks nice. It's kind of a dark gray and black kind of a mix. And let's see how it taps off there. Oh, it came right off. Very nice. And let's see what we have remaining. Ah, yes. Not a bad little cone there. I like that. So it burns nicely. You got a nice ash. And the flavors are pretty much on the kind of like a woodiness, but not like a cedar. It's more like an oaky flavor, and it's still a little sweet and still a little salty. But the other flavors really haven't presented themselves yet. But it's really nice and consistent. Yeah, it's a little pepper in there, but it's not a peppery smoke. This is actually, I would say this particular sample I'm smoking today is probably closer to the original Rose of Sharon blend in terms of body and strength. And just has this really nice kind of herbal note to it, which I think is very relaxing. And as I said before, in case you missed it, I'm having it with some coffee, hot coffee this time, not very sweet, which is a really nice complement to this cigar, especially if you want to have it in the morning. And I would highly recommend that for the morning for sure. So let's see what happens when we get a little further along into the middle section. All right, we got our Desert Rose Exclusivo made for famous smoke shop. It's a 6x52 Toro. And we've established that it is a really good smoke with coffee. But I'm going to try something else. When I was with Robert and everybody a couple weeks ago on the live event, I just happened to have a bottle of wine open. It was a bottle of Italian wine. And I said, well, I'm going to have wine with it. I don't usually have wine with a cigar, but I think I'm starting to get used to it. So for today's episode, I'm going to have one of my favorite wines in the world. This is Marqués de Riscal. It's a Spanish Rioja. It's a red table wine, Spanish, and this is 2013. I love this wine, and we're going to see how it goes with our Desert Rose Exclusivo Toro. All right, so twirl there. Salud. Yeah, that's a nice mix because the wine isn't that overpowering. It's nice and smooth. It's kind of got a nice creamy medium body, and it's fruity. So you get a little fruitiness mixed in with the kind of that herbal and sweetness coming from the cigar, and some of that oaky note. Yeah, it's really nice. You have the wine laying that kind of fruity layer on your palate, and then the smoke comes in with that nice oakiness and a little bit of wood in there, and still a little bit salty, but I'm really not paying much attention to that at all. It's really not rising to the top. I know a lot of people don't usually have wine with their cigar, and as I said, I don't usually have it either, but I'm starting to have an appreciation for having wine with a cigar. I think there's really something to it. And if you get the right wine, like this one, I think you're all set. So, at the end of the day, you come home from work, you just want a nice, relaxing cigar, maybe chill out with some wine, have your Southern Draw Desert Rose Exclusivo, and you're all set. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they really complement each other well. All right, well, that takes care of the pairing, and let's see what happens when we get down to that last third. All right, so we're down to the last act here in this beautiful, really, really nice Southern Draw Desert Rose Exclusivo Toro, made exclusively for famous smoke shop. And I had some notes I was taking in between, and it's been a really wonderful cigar. It smokes very smooth. It smokes slowly. There's just a little hint of peppery spice on the finish. The retrohale is very light pepper, almost just like a little dash. The primary notes I found were kind of like oaky, sweet tobacco, little spice in there. And it has kind of an herbal component too, which I kind of like, almost a floral component. As far as it being complex, it's not really a complex cigar. I guess it depends, maybe depends what you pair with it or how you smoke it. It might be a little more, but it's really very consistent, and that's what I like too. It's very, very enjoyable. We already talked about the pairings. I really love the Rioja Spanish wine with it, which I'm continuing with here. It's very smooth. I think a good bourbon would be fine with this if you want to make this an after dinner cigar, or even a late afternoon. You get home from work, you like to have some bourbon or something. go for it. But it's also great with coffee in the morning. I think that as far as this cigar being, for a particular smoker, I'm telling you, anybody could smoke the cigar. If it's just like your first cigar, great. You're going to really like it. It's kind of medium bodied for the most part, but kind of leans toward the mellow side. It's very smooth, very creamy, as I said earlier in the profile, and it just gives you a nice amount of smoke. Let me take another drag off here. Another thing I found with Connecticut's, they tend to get a little bitter near the end, but this is not. This is just staying really nice and sweet and just wonderful. So really, it's a great cigar no matter what level you're at. As far as my final thoughts, I was going to say that if you like the original Rose of Sharon blend, go for it. But if you're looking for something with a little more zest, this definitely will get you there. And I think the Toro is the way to go. I mean, it's just a great size. 6x52 dimensions, I think, are perfect for the cigar. And we talked about that with Robert too, and he agrees. I think it's a perfect size for getting the most out of this blend. And it also completes the Southern Draw stable of cigars. If you're familiar with most of their cigars, they're kind of spicy. They're kind of on the full-bodied side. They're very Nicaraguan forward. But what I like about this cigar too is it has that Honduran in it and the Dominican Palato Cubano, and I think there's some Media Tiempo in there. I think it might have been, I don't know if it's the wrapper or the binder, the Honduran, the Nicaraguan Habano is the binder, and I think that comes from the high priming, so it might be where some of that spice is coming from. But it's a lot more laid back in terms of body and strength, but it still maintains that nice Southern Draw style of cigar character, and I think that's really nice. So remember that there's only a limited number of boxes. There were only 250 boxes made of a box of 10, and so you may not want to wait too long to make a decision on this one, because I think it's really, really worth your while to pick up this cigar. It's really, really nice. I can't say enough more about it. Okay, so let's take another hit and we'll. Yeah, it's just nice job, Robert. Thank you very much. Okay, remember that you'll find all of the Southern Draw Desert Rose of Sharon cigars only at famous-smoke.com, as well as all the other Southern Draw cigars in the catalog. And if for more cigar advice, news and information and reviews, please follow us at cigaradvisor.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and of course on YouTube, which I hope you like this video, and follow us on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So that's all for now. See you on our next #NowSmoking. I'm Gary Korb, and thanks for watching.